Good morning, friends. In the last two lessons of geography, we took information about moon and its phases, solar and the lunar eclipse, as well as we took information about the tides also. Yes, are you remembering this? Okay. Today we are going to learn a fourth lesson of geography, that is air pressure. See this figure. Are you remember anything? Yes, last year you did activity of these balloons. From this activity you understood that air has weight. Yes or no? Yes, in last year in geography and in science you learned that the air has a weight. Today we are going to learn some information about the air pressure. The first question is there, what is mean by air pressure? Air pressure means weight of all the air in the atmosphere pressing down on the earth. This pressure is known as air pressure. This pressure changes with the height and the temperature. Due to the weather also air pressure changes. Although air molecules are invisible, they still have weight and takes up a space. Air pressure is a force applied by air to any surface in contact with it. Air pressure can changes because air particles can move further apart or close together. Information about the air pressure is very important for predicting the weather because change in air pressure means the weather is about to change. The air pressure acts on anything located on a earth's surface. See in this figure, the pressure of air is there on a human. That pressure shown to you with the arrows. Air pressure act on each and everything on a earth's surface. For example, houses, trees, humans, mountains, oceans, etc. Whatever the things are there on earth's surface, on that things air pressure acts. Okay. There are two main types of air pressure. The first one, low air pressure, and the second one is the high air pressure. Let's learn some features of a air pressure. Anything that has weight, it exerts pressure on the things that lies below it. Take one example for this. If you keep a book on a table, then book exerts pressure on a table because book have a weight. Okay, air also has a weight, so it exerts pressure on a surface of earth. Due to this air pressure, various phenomena like storms, precipitation occur in an atmosphere. There are the various things occurred due to the air pressure. Their information we are going to learn. The air pressure is not uniform in all the places on the earth's surface. Air pressure keep changing from time to time. The height of a region, temperature of a air and amount of a water vapor in the air are some factors influencing the air pressure. The question will be asked on this. Which factors are influencing the air pressure? Which factors are they? The factors which influence the air pressure are temperature of a region. Second one, the water vapor present in a air. And the third one, the height of a region. Okay, one, height of a region, temperature, and the water vapor present in a air. These things influence the air pressure. Okay. Now the first one we will learn, altitude of a region and the air pressure. First one, altitude means the height of a region. Okay. The proportion of a dust in a air, water vapor, heavy gases, etc. is higher in a air closer to the earth's surface. As we go higher into the atmosphere, the amount of air above you gets less and less. So, air pressure decreases. See in this figure. As anyone moves higher and higher from the surface of a earth, the airs become thinner and thinner. As a result, the air pressure decreases with increase in altitude. Means we can say that if the altitude or height is low, then air pressure is high. If the height is more, then the air pressure is low. Understood it? More height is there, low air pressure. If low height is there, then more air pressure or the high pressure is there. Understood this? Air pressure is inversely proportional to the height. Understood this? Now see, height increased, pressure decreased. If the height decreased, then the pressure increased. Okay? Let's take some information about the air temperature and air pressure. See this figure 4.1 given in your textbook, and here also this figure given to you. Yes, one teacher and some students are there and they are doing something. What they are doing? They are doing something with the flying lantern. Are you seen flying lantern? Why that lantern go in a sky when we start the candle in it? Anyone know about it? Okay, let's learn something about it. Yes, we will learn that what things are there behind it. Now listen carefully. When we start candle in flying lantern, then air get heated. When air become hot, it expands and become lighter and lighter. Due to the light weight, the lantern also lifted up towards in a sky. Understood this? Why that lantern go in a sky? Due to the heat, air get expand and air become lighter, and lighter airs go towards the sky. That's why that lantern also fly in a sky. In a nature also same thing occur. Whatever the things occur in a lantern, the same thing occur in a nature. Temperature and air pressure are closely related. Air near the earth's surface heated due to the sun. Okay, air become hot, then air expands and become lighter and lighter, so it starts moving up towards the sky. Okay, first one, due to the sun, that air near about the earth's surface get heated and it's become hot. That's why it expand and become the lighter and lighter, so it started to go in a sky upward. Oppositely things occur in a sky. Whatever the cold air is there, it is heavy, so it start to come on a earth's surface. This cyclic rotation occurred continuously in a nature. From this we can say that the temperature increased, then air pressure decreased. Say loudly, the temperature increased, then air pressure decreased. And the opposite thing occur. If temperature decreased, then the air pressure increased. Temperature decreased, then the air pressure increased. You have to know this statement because this statement will be asked for true and false. Okay. Now the next point is there, temperature zone. The temperature zone and the pressure belts are interrelated with each other. First, we will take some information about these temperature zones. Okay. Earth is divided in a two hemisphere due to the equator. Okay, hemispheres you know, half circle. Due to the equator, Earth divided into the two half circles. These half circles are known as the hemispheres. Equator means 0 degree, or the line which intersect the earth in a two equal parts. See in this figure, at a center 0 degree line shown to you, that line is known as the equator. Latitudinal extent of a temperature zone is more. They expand in a large area. You can see in this figure, earth is, how the long earth is there, you know, it is a big surface, and that whole earth is divided into the three parts only. How many parts? In a three parts, or in a three zone. The first one is torrid zone, second one temperate zone, and the third one frigid zone. These three parts are there of a temperature zone. That's why it expands in a more area. You are able to see in this both figure. In a first figure, torrid zone shown you in a orange color, and the temperate zone shown you in a yellow color, and the frigid zone shown you in a blue color. In a second figure also you are able to see all these zones, temperature zones, in a different color shown to you. Means this whole earth is divided into the three zones. These zones are there on a both side of equator. Okay, we will learn the information about it. Now see in this figure, figure 4.2a, temperature zone. It is given also in your textbook. Okay, we will learn some information from this figure. First, see this figure carefully. At a center of this figure, equator is there. It is situated on 0 degree. Are you able to see this? See in this picture also, and if you want you can open your textbook also. From textbook or from here, from anywhere you are able to see these things. The equator is situated at a center of this figure on 0 degree. You seen? Now seen that the torrid zone, it is situated near about equator on a both side. You are able to see here. The torrid zone is situated near about equator on a both side of the equator. The latitudinal extent of this region is between 23 degree and 30 minutes in north to 23 degree and 30 minutes in a south. See carefully, from 23 degree and 30 minutes north to 23 degree and 30 minutes south. In this area, torrid zone situated. Okay, this is a large extent. In this area, more rain and more sunlight is there. That's why we are able to find many forests in this area. Understood this? Now come on the second one, temperate zone. This zone is situated between 23 degree and 30 minutes to 66 degree and 30 minutes in both hemisphere. See in this figure, from 23 degree 30 minutes to 66 degree 30 minutes north and 23 degree 30 minutes south to 66 degree and 30 minutes south. On both sides of equator, this temperate zone situated. This area have less rain and sunlight with compared to the torrid zone. So in this area we are able to find grasslands. Okay. Now come on the third one, frigid zone. This zone is situated between 66 degree 30 minutes to the 90 degree in a both hemisphere. See carefully in a north one. 66 degree 30 minutes north to the 90 degree north frigid zone is there. In a downside in a south area also from 66 degree 30 minutes south to the 90 degrees south we are able to find the frigid zone. Less sunlight is reaching in this area. So, this area is too cold and covered with the ice. So, extreme cold was there. We are able to find less type of the vegetation in this area. Their information we are going to learn in a sixth lesson. In a next period, we are going to learn the information about the pressure belts. Watch this video again. If you not understood anything, then you have to read the lesson and you have to watch this video again. Okay? Thank you.